Dr. William Clay, aka Dr. Flip. I'm an award-winning national counselor, speaker, author, consultant. Today I'm going to give you an overview of my book, Post-Traumatic School Disorder. So let's break down the cover. On the bottom of the cover, you see what we call dirt. And I reference the dirt as clay because it represents the clay of the earth. The chains represent the emotional and physical bondage that our young people bring into the school and they take out of the school from the trauma they experience as children into adulthood. The hands represent the freedom that will come from reading the book and utilizing the strategies. The title, Post-Traumatic School Disorder, basically looks at and examines trauma and how it impacts education, social, academic progress. Empowerment Strategies for African American Male. Chapter 3 is focused on the demystification of African American males and how it impacts them in the school and outside the school. Now, on the back of the cover of the book, there's a man. The man represents the freedom. As you can see, he is looking up in the air and his chest is open. That means he is free. Now, this is a large banner, and I'm just going to go screenshot the rest of the banner so you can see it. Empowerment Strategies for African American Males, Dr. William Clay, Post-Traumatic School Disorder. You have the hands in the corner. Now, we're going to examine a smaller banner, just like the previous one I just showed you. Now, what's so unique about this banner is that the man is now looking up through the chains into the hands. Again, the strategies in the book represents the emotional freedom, social freedom, academic freedom, when the strategies are shared with youth, young adults, and adults to help them with their social, emotional, and academic development. Now I'm going to give you an overview of the book. In chapter 1 of the book, I talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. In chapter 2, I go into post-traumatic school disorder. And I also examine post-traumatic school disorder, and basically that deals with trauma. We go a little in depth and we talk about emotional psychological incarceration, which is the result of trauma. And that is broken down into 3 stages. Emotional constipation, which occurs from birth to the age of 14. Emotional incarceration, which occurs from 14 into adulthood. And if you don't address the constipation and the incarceration from childhood to youthhood to adulthood, they do something stupid and they go out here and they get physically incarcerated. There are approximately 2.3 million African American people in prison in the country today, 1.9 are African American males. So it's very important that we help males understand how to deal with their emotions and how to express their emotions. Emotional psychological incarceration will definitely break down and enlighten young adults and children and anyone else on the impact of trauma on the lives of children and adults. Now, in chapter 3, we go a little further. Again, I'm going into the demystification. So we're talking about the impact of slavery on the cross-generational and how it impacts African Americans today. That's why I titled it Empowerment Strategies African American Males, because chapter 3 definitely focuses on that. Now, on chapter 4, we look at ping pong parenting. With the divorce rate almost 50% around the country, 60% with African American males, we have to look at how do the children feel. They feel like ping pong balls. So that's chapter 4. We talk about ping pong balls. Number 5, we talk about that father. Where is my father? And there's 3 types of fathers that I break down in chapter 5. Again, we're trying to help the young people, the youth, children, students, and adults understand the impact and the lack of the role of the father in the lives of the children. Number 6, chapter 6. How do you treat someone who's suffering from emotional psychological incarceration, which in turn is the trauma that comes from being exposed to a trauma as a child or an adult? So how do you treat it? How do you treat a child who suffers from post-traumatic school disorder? How do you treat emotional psychological incarceration? That's what we talk about in chapter 6. I definitely break it down for you. In chapter 7, we review an empowerment program or mentoring program. If you have a middle school, high school, or elementary school, and you want to know how to format your program, boom, it's right there in chapter 7. And then chapter 8, guess what? We got to figure out, well, how do you facilitate communication. How do you start the counseling process? How do we build rapport with youth? How do we build a relationship with youth? In chapter 8, man, I break it down. Guess what? I show you how to use music that the students listen to in counseling. You can't beat that. There are lessons in there for school counselors and youth counselors on how to use music to facilitate the communication. Again, now, there are 3 bonus areas in the book. There's one area I talk about the alphabet to life, parenting strategies. How do you get parents involved in the school system to come to PTA meetings, to come to school activities? And there's also some strategies for teachers and administrators to utilize in addressing the social and emotional and academic deficiencies of their student population. So that's just an overview of the book. You can find the book on Amazon. You can find the book on boysoffthehook.com. You can contact me at Twitter at Dr_Flip. I'm on the gram, Dr_Flip07. I'm on Facebook, Dr. William Flip Clay. I'm on Periscope, Dr_Flip. I will be launching the Dr. Flip Show on Periscope in approximately 3 to 4 weeks. So make sure you sign up to Periscope, look up my name, follow me, Dr_Flip. This is a review of the book Post-Traumatic School Disorder, Empowerment Strategies for African American Males. Even though the book is focused on African American males in chapter 3, the information in this book can be utilized to help any student, regardless of their social, emotional, economic status, or their ethnic background. So again, this is a review for post-traumatic school disorder. This is Dr. William Clay, aka Dr. Flip, award-winning 2012 National Marcus Foster Distinguished Educator of the Year. Been featured in the Washington Post, on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Mr. Tony Richard. Been recognized by United States Supreme Court Justice of the United States, Sonia Sotomayor. Follow me on social media. Again, boysoffthehook.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I would love to come out to your school and speak to your teachers, students. Look at some of my videos on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Dr. Clay, DRCLAY, and look up Overcoming Emotional Psychological Incarceration. That's a video that goes with the book and definitely will give you a visual understanding of how we manage and deal with trauma. Again, this is a review for post-traumatic school disorder. I look forward to hearing from you. Peace. Thank you.